hey, does someone in your life have an issue with hoarding? So I just wanted to give you some tips on how to help them. So the first thing is to make sure not to shame them, because usually people who are hoarding are doing it for a reason. Sometimes, it's, a level of protection. It's almost like, um, when I'm in my car, I'm so used to wearing my seatbelt that sometimes even if I'm moving the car across the street to, for street sweeping, or if I've got to move it up 3 or 4 feet so someone can fit in back of my car or whatever, parking back of my car, I wear my seatbelt because I just feel safe. And is me rolling 3 or 4 feet, if I get into a car accident doing that, really gonna kill me? Hopefully not, but I wear it anyway because it makes me feel safe. It makes me feel secure. And that's why people hoard, is because for whatever reason, it makes them feel safe. Whether they've had some abuse in their life, or they feel like their life is out of control, or they feel like people aren't there for them, or they feel alone, or whatever. It could be any number of things. It could be one of the things I mentioned, or something else. But the idea is to not force them to get rid of their stuff, unless of course, like they have to move out of some place or whatever, and they don't really have a choice. That might not be much of an option. But for the most part, you don't want to force it. You don't want to force them to have a deadline, for example. You want to try and be as supportive as possible, because this is a really hard process. It's like, if somebody came in and stole, a ring that your great grandmother passed down and finally got to you, and someone stole it, how would that feel? It's sentimental. And for them, a lot of these things feel like that to them. It's very sentimental. They, remember when they got that, whatever, little trinket at, a garage sale or the store, or on vacation or whatever, but it means something to them. And those things have gotten them through whatever they've gotten through, because they feel almost like love generating from the items. And so a couple tips. One is, if somebody's wanting to get rid of some stuff, maybe have them get rid of 70% of the stuff they need to get rid of, and have them keep in boxes maybe 10 to 30% of the stuff, and have them put it in storage. So that way the stuff isn't gone, but they kind of get used to living without it. And so they can go visit it if they want, and they're not feeling like it's been torn from them, but it kind of gives them a buffer to just getting rid of something. It's a similar thing as, if at age 18 a kid moves out, and they come home and they just need a hug, or they just need to talk to their parents, or they just need to be in their own house for a little bit, versus if somebody's 18 and their parent dies. They no longer have that anymore. They no longer have that security blanket. It's a similar thing, not that someone's died, of course, but in terms of attachment. And so if they can, for example, go visit from time to time, or have it, in storage for 6 months to a year, so they really get used to living without it before they get rid of it, that might be something that's really beneficial. And so you can put whatever amount of boxes you're going to get in storage, and then label that, a third of them first, a third of them second, and a third of them third. And so, in maybe 2 or 3 months, go into the storage and get rid of everything that says first. And then you still have, your most important things still there. And then 2-3 months later, try and get rid of everything that says second. And then maybe after 6 months or a year or whatever, you get rid of everything that says third. So finally you're getting rid of the storage unit, but now the person's used to living without all that stuff, and it's not so much of a rip for them. But before they get rid of that stuff, they really need to learn coping skills to be able to replace that stuff with, so that way they're not just left with nothing. So that's something that you can look at in my blog about different coping skills. You can Google some coping skills that are healthy. Be careful with that though, because you could find like drinking, drugs, all that. Those are coping skills, or just negative coping skills. So I hope this was helpful, and I hope you have a great day.